So I wanted to chat today about something that a lot of us are struggling with today nowadays. We're struggling with this issue, and it just seems to be an ongoing issue. So I really wanted to discuss it to see if we can help, get a better understanding of, why we're dealing with it and what we can do to kind of address these problems. I think, again, everyone has dealt with this. If you're honest, you have. And this problem, it robs us of our ability to achieve goals. It wastes time, and even takes up our mental health. It takes away from that. And I wanted to talk about procrastination. We all do it. We all procrastinate. Again, it's just something that we have done and continue to do, even though we're well intentioned and we want the best, but we just keep slipping into it. So the definition of procrastination is the act of putting off, postponing, or delaying habitually or continuously. So you're just continuously putting off things that you know you need to get done. And there are four types of procrastination. So you have the fun procrastination, plenty of time procrastination, you have perfectionist procrastination, and then you have um, perf- not perfection, excuse me, anxious procrastination, right? So again, there are four different kinds. For me, I know I can say for myself, it's normally either plenty of time or anxious procrastination that I'm always putting stuff off. If I feel like I just don't want to get bad news, then I'll put it off. Or if it's something that I know I need to get done, but I feel like I have plenty of time, then again, that's another thing I just put off. So I want to kind of share a story about how procrastination has affected me and how I lost out. So this goes back to 2012. So a good friend of mine, he's a savvy guy, very tech savvy. He's a great investor. We were talking about investments, stocks, and different technology um, investments that he was in. So he was talking to me about Bitcoin. I never heard about Bitcoin before, and he mentioned that Bitcoin is going to be the next big thing. He said Bitcoin is going to go up 10, 20, 30, 40x, right? And he had all the information on this Bitcoin back in 2012. Being a decentralized peer-to-peer currency, how it works off the blockchain, how this currency will eventually affect multiple industries, different governments, finance, logistics, you name it. It's going to be a part of most corporations eventually. And this guy was very eloquent about his speech, about the information that he conveyed to me. And I said, this guy knows what he's talking about. He really knew what he was talking about. So, after we talked for about 30 minutes, I was sold. And that was it. I said, okay, I'm investing. I'm trying to make some money, you know. And again, this is 2012, so I think at this point, Bitcoin was probably around maybe 112, 115. It was ridiculously cheap at this point, basically. But to me, I said, hey, what do I have to lose? I'll throw in, a couple $1,000s. We'll see what happens. Um, so, of course, as any good friend, he didn't beat me upside the head about this thing after we spoke about it. He didn't continually try to sell me on it. He didn't make me do anything. He just told me about it, and then that was it. So, after, that day, days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, months turn into years, and we're all busy living our life. And we have careers, we have relationships, we're having fun, and I did not make that thing a priority to me. I didn't make it a priority, and it just fell by the wayside. I didn't put a date on it. So fast forward to 2017. We all know that was when Bitcoin went crazy back in 2017. So I get a call from my brother, and he said, "Hey man, did you hear about Bitcoin?" I'm like, "What happened?" And he shows me about Bitcoin, and then after that, shortly after, it's all over the news. It's up to 5,000. It's up to 7,000. It's up to 10,000. Then it goes up to $20,000 per token. And I'm thinking to myself, damn, I missed the boat. I missed the boat. And I really hate to think about, what could have been and where I could have been financially. And, because it's all hindsight. I think from that day on, I made it a point to really take charge and really get a hold of procrastination. And whatever needs to be done, do it. Put a date on it. If there's information someone gives you, investigate it and research it immediately. Don't put it off. Do it immediately. Anything, whatever it may be, even if it's going out just to make plans with friends, just to go out to call a relative that you haven't spoken to in a long time. If it's just as simple as going to the gym, whatever it may be, don't let procrastination steal and rob from your life. Don't do that. So I'm going to leave you with this: three actionable items that you should always do pertaining to procrastination. First, put a date on anything that you want to get done. Just put a date on it, because without a date on it, there's no concrete deadline, and you just put it off. Two, any task that you have, break it down into a smaller task, into a reasonable task, right? And just chip away at it. If it's something that's too large for you, you're gonna feel like, I can't get it done, I won't get started. But again, if you break it down to a smaller task and chip away at it, you can get it done. And lastly, just get started. That's the first thing. Get started. Once you get started, you'll see it's not as difficult as you thought it would be, right? And then you kind of have more confidence and momentum moving forward to get it done. So I hope this is something that we can kind of get a hold on in 2020. This year is quickly moving by, and we want to make the most of it. So be the best you can be, and please subscribe, like the video, share it,